Hey, this is Dave. Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Living an Abundant Life. We are on the fifth step of ordering our financial world, and today we're going to talk about retirement. This is really important that we take note that I am not a professional in this area. What I'm suggesting you do today are things that have helped me in the past and steps that I have taken. You need to check with your CPA, your local CPA, or talk with your benefit managers at your place of work, the HR departments. They should be able to direct you to the right answers. But this video today may give you a little bit of a push in the right direction. At least I hope so. So if you're in debt, my advice to you is to pour as much money as possible to get out of debt. In fact, we talked about selling your car and putting that extra money that after you sell your car towards your debt. You'll need to look at that video. But there is one caveat to that, and that is that if you have a 401k plan, if your employer has sponsored a 401k plan, there's a pretty good chance that they do some sort of matching contribution. This is the only time when I would suggest that you put money not directly towards your debt, but that you go ahead and allocate some money towards your retirement. Because if they're matching that money, that's free money to you. So I would take advantage of that, but then all other excess money has got to go towards your debt. Now, if you don't have any debt and you do have excess every month, you need to be taking full advantage of retirement, whether it's through a 401k plan, an IRA, or a Roth IRA. You need to be contributing the maximum amount possible to those plans. So recently I did a conference, a seminar talking about financial matters, and we talked about retirement, and the biggest question that came up that day was, well, I used to work for this company that had a 401k plan, and now I've gone to work for another company. What do I do with that money? And so we're going to spend the rest of today's episode looking at the 5 different options for what do I do with the 401k money in an employee plan for a company that I no longer work for. 1, you can leave your money in your former employee plan. 2, you can roll over your money to a new 401k plan. You can roll over that 401k plan money from the former employee into a traditional IRA. You can roll over that 401k money into a Roth IRA, or you can take a cash distribution. We're going to look at the pros and cons of each of those. Do you just leave your money in your former employee plan? The pros on that is that you do have time. There's no immediate action normally that's required. You can keep the option of rolling the money over to an IRA or to a 401k in the future, so you don't have to do anything right away. If you leave that money there, those plan assets are protected from creditors and future creditors. The cons to just leaving your money, though, are that there's no longer any contributions allowed into that former employee's plan. Another con is that managing assets in multiple plans can be confusing. And the third con is your range of investment choices may be limited. Your next option is to roll over your money into a new 401k plan. So this would be assuming that the new company you work for has a new 401k plan. So the pros for that is that you'll now have access to new investment options and then other potential options. You'll be able to continue to make tax-deferred contributions to this new plan. The 401k plan assets are protected from creditors. The cons to moving it, they're not very many, but you may pay higher fees in the new plans, and you may not have as many investment choices in this new plan. The third choice is to roll over your 401k to a traditional IRA. So the pros to that is that your money can continue to grow tax-deferred. This may give you access to additional options of different plans that you can put your money into. And a really big pro is that you may be able to consolidate multiple accounts into one IRA. The cons to moving it to a traditional IRA is that you may have higher fees in the IRA. that assets in an IRA are only protected from creditors in the case of a bankruptcy, and you're going to have required distributions at the age of 72. You can roll over your 401k to a Roth IRA. Pros are earning in a Roth IRA grow tax-free. You can consolidate multiple accounts into one Roth IRA, similar to the regular IRA, and there are no required distributions. The cons, rollovers from most normal 401k plans to a Roth is taxable. Your last option is to take a cash distribution. There's really only one pro to that. If you have an extraordinary situation, you can get the cash out. But there are big cons to that. You're going to have taxes and penalties on that money, and you'll no longer have money in a retirement account. So of these 5 options, number 5, taking a cash distribution, that really is just a no-go. You need to not do this. I recommend you move your money from the old 401k plan into the new 401k plan. My second choice would be either to roll it into a traditional IRA or into a Roth IRA. It is imperative that you invest for the future. It is imperative that you invest for retirement. Having that nest egg of money for your future is just a calming effect for you, and it gives you a potential to have a sizable amount of money. I hope that you're doing that. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have an abundant life. Thanks for watching.